sticks out. We were playing the Pistons in the playoffs, and we had beat Atlanta, I believe, in a 5-game series, and we were playing the Pistons, who were the bad boys at that time. And Terry Cummings, our starting forward, was out with an ankle. Paul Pressey separated shoulder. And I think we played game 2 or 3, I can't remember, in Detroit. And after the game, I felt okay. But then when I got wake-up call for practice the next morning, and I reached for my alarm clock, I fell out of my bed and I couldn't get up. And I didn't know what was going on. I gathered myself. I went to the practice and I talked to the trainer, and he talked to me, and the team doctor was there, and they said, you got bruised ribs, because I got hit in the ribs during the game. I didn't remember it, and they might be broken. And
wait, so you were playing with broken ribs?
Well, that was the night before, but so we, I asked him. We play the next night, and it's feeling a little better. I say, what can you do? I want to play. Number one, I said, if I don't play or if I play, you cannot tell the media what it is. You can't tell them it's my ribs, because that's the first thing those guys are going to go after.
Right.
You got to tell them it's a finger, whatever. But I remember at shoot around the next day, I was feeling a little better, and I was talking to the head coach and the doctor and the trainer, and I said, I want to give it a go. What do I have to do? Well, we could shoot you up. I said, I've been shot up in the knee before, in the foot. You can shoot ribs. There's not much there, right? Says, yeah, we can shoot you up. I said, okay, let me hear, what's the worst that can happen? God. Well, I can go too far with the needle, and I can puncture your lung, and you'll go into the hospital. But you won't die. That's what he said. You won't die.
Oh, my God.
And
that sounds horrible.
So guess what I did that night?
What'd you do?
I got shot up. And I put a pad on, and I tried to get in warm-ups, and I couldn't breathe, so I ended up not playing.
You couldn't breathe?
I couldn't breathe deeply, no, to play.
How painful is that, where they give you a shot into your ribs?
It was not. I was getting it done while the team was preparing for the game, and Jack Sikma and Sidney Moncrief, when I came out of the doctor's room and sat down to try to put my shoes on, and they looked at me and they're like, man, you look like you're walking dead. You look, So
who said that to you, Moncrief or Jack Sikma?
Both of them. But the bottom line was I was willing to try it, and then we went back. We lost that game. Went back to Milwaukee, and I got an X-ray. I had a broken rib and 2 cracked ribs. But
and how did you? It was just banging underneath the basket. I mean, what do you remember? A play where that happened?
Caught an elbow or something.
Holy smokes!
But that's one time where
you shouldn't have done it.
I shouldn't have done it.
But you did it anyway, and because of that, I bet all your teammates had the utmost respect for you for giving it a try. Right?
Especially because they heard me crying in the next room when I got my shot.
And who was that against, by the way?
Pistons.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
wow,
yeah. So that's one thing that really sticks out. I mean, I had another series where my knee was messed up, and it would swell up after every game. So I got it drained with that big needle after every game, and then played.
Is that how big it is? It's like that?
No, it's like this.
Oh my God!
And it looks like a pencil, because they got
That sounds awful. I feel it's painful just hearing this.
I did it probably six days in a row, because I'd get it done, play, get it done, play.
But Paul, NBA Finals. LeBron, all due respect to LeBron, he's a tough guy. I'm not saying otherwise, but even if it was LeBron, if he had cracked ribs and it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals, do you think that they would shoot him up like that?
I don't know.
Today's day and age?
I don't know if they shoot him up anymore, because things have changed for the better. But I think he would try to play. Yeah. I bet he'd try to put a pad on there and try to play.
He'd tough it out, yeah.
Like they try to put like a quarterback, those rib protectors.
I agree with you. LeBron would. I don't think Anthony Davis would. I'm sorry, I just don't.
I bet there's 70% of the league that wouldn't play.
Isn't that sad?
Maybe better for them.
It's better for them financially. It's better for them
in the long run.
In the long run, but I don't think it's better for the game.
I mean, if you can play, like someone said the other day, if you're 70 to 80%, you should play.
Yeah.
And that's the way it used to be, But then you got there's a time where if I play, am I worse because I'm not 100% than a player that's going to play instead of me?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of players, but there's a lot of players, even your presence out there.
Yeah, sure.
Steph Curry could play, and not even take a shot, but he's a decoy. They're not
Of
going to leave
course,
him alone.
defensively, it's an assignment that, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
For the record, by the way, Jim has cracked ribs and he had to shoot up before the show. So I just wanted.
That's good.
I just-
feel for you. I feel for you.
I just, yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know about that. If you're just joining us, 11-year NBA veteran Paul Mokeski joining us right now in studio, 20-year coach as well, and we're talking a little bit about the Anthony Davis situation yesterday and guys being benched. And by the way, we're going to see more of that, right, over the course of the next month or two as we approach the playoffs. The Greg Popovich rules, so to speak. We're going to see a lot of guys that are going to be sitting it out, and they are going to be, keeping themselves for the playoffs. And a lot of fans have issue with that. Paul, it's like you're a family of 4, family of 5, and father and mom not making a lot of money, and they save up $400 or $500 to go to that one game where they want to see LeBron James play, right? Or whoever. LeBron's in a different spot now. Maybe that's a bad example, but let's just say Anthony Davis. They save up all this money, and they find out that Anthony Davis isn't playing. Why? Is he hurt? No. Just sitting it out. And I just find that, what do you say to that family? I just think it's so bad for the league.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think it's, Michael Jordan never sat out just because of that. He'll tell you that, because, and really it's East and West. So, Michael Jordan came out to the West and played one game in L.A., one game in Portland, one game in Houston. So there's only one chance for those kids to see him out there. But to not play, you'll see it coming up more in the East than you will in the West, because the West is wild, wild West. 4 games separate you from a play-in to 4th spot. So they're not going to rest. But in the East, where Boston, Milwaukee, somewhat Philly are ahead of everybody, you're going to see some players rest. And, I had a lot of people are happy and congratulate me that the Bucks have won 16 games in a row. And I'm not so happy, because now you're peaking at the wrong time. The playoffs don't start for a month and a half.
Right.
And the playoffs
Right.
go, if you go all the way, 2 months.
Right.
So, for them to sacrifice a possible injury to get 17 in a row is not smart for them at this point. But at the same time, I'm on the Barkley side. I mean, if you're getting paid $30 million to play three days a week, you should play if you can. And I'm telling you, I was there with the Dallas Mavericks for 5 years in Charlotte. You're flying on private jets. You're getting all the treatment you want, the best food. You're staying at the Four Seasons. There's no stress on travel like it was back in the day. So if you can play, you should play.
Yeah, I trust me, Paul. I'm in agreement with you on this one, and I think a lot of